Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Black Marble 98. Thanks for the suggestion. Marble, you asked, who created the first dictionary? Great question. I mean, imagine being the person who looked at the entire English language and thought, yep, I'll organize this chaos alphabetically. Today, we're diving into the wild history of dictionaries, where they started, who wrote them, and how they went from messy lists to giant books we never actually open unless we're stuck on Wordle. Stick around as we flip through the pages of history, right here on Explaining Everything. Okay, picture this. It's ancient times. People are speaking languages, inventing words, making inside jokes, and nobody's writing any of it down. If you didn't know what a word meant, tough luck. Better guess or hope someone explains it before you embarrass yourself. But eventually, smart folks realized, hey, maybe we should keep track of these words so people stop using literally wrong. The earliest dictionaries weren't full dictionaries like we think of today. They were word lists, often translations between languages, like a primitive Google Translate. The oldest known word list comes from ancient Sumeria, around 2300 BCE. It was a clay tablet with words in Sumerian and their Akkadian translations. Yep, the first dictionary was written in stone. Take that, paperbacks! In ancient China, a dude named Yang Xiong compiled a famous word guide called the Fangyan around 1 AD, collecting regional dialect words across China. Imagine being that guy, traveling around asking, how do you say dumpling? Fast forward a couple of thousand years to medieval England, and the English language was, well, a mess. We had words from Latin, French, Norse, and German, basically the linguistic equivalent of a smoothie made by a toddler. People needed guidance. In 1604, along came a guy named Robert Caudry. He was a school teacher and probably very tired of his students misspelling everything. So he published a table alphabetical, the first monolingual English dictionary. It had about 2,500 words, tiny compared to today's dictionaries, but it was a start. Fun fact, Caudry's dictionary was aimed at ladies, gentlewomen, or other unskillful persons. Translation? It was a 1600s English for dummies. Also, his definitions were kinda vague. For example, abandon was defined as to cast away. Thanks, Rob. Super helpful. But hey, baby steps. At least now people have a cheat sheet for tricky words like accede and zeal. Then came Samuel Johnson, a man so important in dictionary history that they practically put his face on the idea of dictionary guy. In 1755, Johnson published a dictionary of the English language, which became the dictionary of its time. We're talking 40,000 words, complete with definitions, example sentences, and his own cheeky opinions thrown in. Yep, Johnson wasn't just writing definitions. He was low-key roasting people inside them. His definition of oats, a grain, which in England is generally given to horses, but in Scotland supports the people. Wow, Samuel. Scottish people just trying to enjoy their porridge, and you're out here calling them horse food eaters. His dictionary took 9 years to complete, with no computers, no copy-paste, just Samuel Johnson and a few assistants. manually writing everything out. Honestly, I can't even finish organizing my closet in 9 years. Fast forward to the 1800s, and along comes the Oxford English Dictionary, aka the OED. This wasn't just a book, it was a monster project. It aimed to document every word in English, with historical examples of how words were used over time. It took 70 years to finish the first edition. 70. That's longer than 3 Netflix reboots of the same show. And fun fact, a huge contributor to the OED was a man named William Chester Minor, who submitted over 10,000 definitions while living in an insane asylum. True story, look it up. The OED turned dictionaries from simple word lists into full-blown time capsules of language. Thanks to them, we can now trace how selfie evolved from self-portrait, or how yeet went from internet slang to, well, it's still kind of internet slang. Some bonus facts for all you language lovers out there. The longest word in an English dictionary? Pneumona ultra microscopic silico volcano coniosis. Bless you. Noah Webster, yeah, like Webster's dictionary, is responsible for American spelling differences like color instead of color and center instead of center. You can thank him or blame him, depending on your mood. The first dictionaries didn't bother with bad words. They just skipped them entirely. Samuel Johnson, however, included some and hilariously refused to define others. Classic Johnson move. Dictionaries have come a long way, from clay tablets to apps on your phone. But they're all connected by one big goal: making sense of the mess we call language. So, next time you crack open a dictionary, or, let's be real, Google a word, remember, behind that simple definition is a history full of teachers, scholars, sassy lexicographers, and a lot of patience. It's pretty wild to think that what started as stone tablets and handwritten lists turned into the giant, living documents we rely on today. And honestly, dictionaries prove that language is never really finished. Words come, words go, and some sneak in through memes and TikTok dances. The dictionary isn't just a book, it's a snapshot of who we are, one weird word at a time. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.